All right. Well, hello everybody. I am getting ready to ping everybody that I can see in this lobby. So, I realize that none of you might be here just yet. Psycho. Oh, wrong. Psycho Pants. Shadra. Ulysses. Cody Sparks. Papa. Calkin. Solnova. And Yoon. Okay, so welcome everybody. My name is Valcomer. I am the tank player for Can't Counterpick Stupid. We run the Nexomania Development League, and today we are going to be looking at the Alterac pass from Lobby C. This is primarily players in the gold range, and this match was played just the other day. If you'd like more info on Nexomania Development League, I will post a link in the description on the YouTube VOD. You can search Valcomer CCS out there and you should be able to find me. And I will work on getting some info so that you can have links to the Discord as well. But Nexomania Development League, my friends. Okay, so these are learning scrims. Most of these players have not played together before, though I think like Meme Zed and Ulysses have played together before, but I know both of them are off roll. So, I don't know everybody in this lobby. I do know Calkin as an offlane player. I know Psychopants as a healer. I actually know Ulysses as an offlane player, but they are playing damage instead. So it'll be interesting to see how everything goes. Now, as far as just the level ones, blue side, you don't have anything that's stacking, which means you don't have any reason to be here short of keeping the red team off your walls. And Falstad on the red team we know is stacking, and Vala on the red team we know is stacking. Ooh, Yoon is on the wrong roll. They are supposed to be playing off roll, so Yoon and I think Calkin are both playing different roles than what they were set up for. Let me see here. Yep, Calkin's supposed to be damage, Yoon is supposed to be bruiser. So I will have to talk to them about that. We had specifically made that change to have both of them off roll to try to balance the lobby. So, but with Falstad and Vala, we know are both going to be stacking. As the blue team, we don't necessarily want to give those stacks. We also have a big siege combo in Ulysses and Meme Zed, so Sonia Sylvanas. I would love to see them in a non-center lane, even if all you get is 10% of the tower. That's 10% more than what you had before. You may as well just get it, especially if you believe your team can be defensive enough and not lose that 10% in mid. So, but we got folks dancing, having fun here in the middle. That's great. We see Hungering Arrow on the Vala. We see Hammering for the Falstad. Falstad, I would love to see you just rip some of that and start trying to get stacks. I'll turn this down just a touch. It's a little loud in my ear. So drafts, I would say blue team is a little bit more burst oriented with the Maiev. They also have great ability to siege after a team fight. The red team, you've got great scaling with Vala and Falstad. You also have global presence in Falstad and Brightwing, and you have arguably the better camp clear with Hager over Sonya. I do like getting people here early, however, I think I would rather see Sonya and Anduin, and perhaps let Sylvanas be ranged against range here in the bottom. And that's just something we want to talk about in the draft. We want to say, hey, look, we want Sonya to be on this camp right at 1 minute. We see Hager over here. He probably even waved off the Vala saying, hey, I got this. I really don't mind having the Brightwing in an off lane because, of course, she can teleport to the action as necessary. Muradin is losing a little bit of the health, but he'll regenerate it, but he is keeping the opposing team from really getting a lot on this wall. Meme said, I hope your team mentioned they were missing. I think if the Vala had come down, that Meme said, maybe you're not dead, but you're forced to back at that point, essentially. Oh, we're going to back up because I completely missed this until the ETC died. So here we just really want to count up numbers. Soul Nova, you slid in on a 3v4 where we didn't need to, and obviously it turned out poorly for you. We weren't going to kill the Sylvanas with the trio that was there and how far back the Vala was, so we want to save that. ETC can be a remarkably defensive tank, and so we didn't need to look for aggression when we didn't have kill pressure. Falstad uses his flight to come up, and so we see really big siege value from the blue team just by being able to have that Sylvanas shut off, and as soon as they got a kill, they went for it. And even here in the bottom lane, Memezed was able to get a little bit of chip damage on the wall because Falstad had to fly mid. Top lane, Hager is of course winning the siege war here. Let's see what... No, we do have the ability to get some decent clear out of Maiev, and this actually becomes a really good camping tool if you run it properly. So I love getting right on this camp. I don't mind the duo running it. I do think that it's possible that Maiev clears this camp faster than Sylvanas. And so, again, it's deciding that as a team and figuring that out in advance. Hager is, of course, able to solo this and is going to go crazy with that. The objectives are up, but again, like we talked about in the intro video, Alterac Pass, you really don't have to try to cap the objective right away. It can be a very snowbally objective, yes, but it's also completely acceptable to just let it ride. If your opponents aren't going for it, you can play chicken a little bit with them on the map. Blue team looking for the Falstad. Oh, the Maiev pull is what got you there, my friend. And here I was about to say I think the blue team should hang out and have pushed here mid. Ulysses, I would have liked to have seen you keep going just to force this tower down even a little bit faster and keep the Vala honest. Just make it so that she can't anti-siege. Good work, Shadra, zoning off the enemy, and really even good work, red team, recognizing a scenario that it's probably best to back up for a moment. So extremely even thus far on experience. You can see that on the screen for a moment. So blue team, it's completely fine. You got half the channel. If you want to back up, you're ahead to 10s. There's nothing that says you need to be super aggressive yet. You have the lead on the channel time. You have the lead on experience. If you think that Muradin, for example, can stay here and keep some good tabs on this point, we don't have to overcommit numbers. Oh, Muradin's leap just got interrupted, but I don't think they have enough to punish him. Still tapped, you're coming back. Yeah. Red team right there was kind of your last time to take a pre-10 fight. And so I would like to have seen you be a little bit more aggressive for a moment. You definitely got out of dodge when you can, but you're unlikely to get this recapped and even closed. So either just go for a kill, knowing that's your one shot, or just try to get macro back on the map. Good work, Papa, dodging.
Yes! Time to show them what the Stormfight can do!
So Shadra, one thing on your build here, it's not as easy, but I would consider going the heavy impact at level 7 because it makes it on that big slow. It's an 80% slow for 1.7 or 1.5 seconds, and it definitely sets up the ability to get a Storm Bolt. Now, Skullcracker is my favorite. I think it's a lot of fun to play, and I use it quite a bit, particularly when I'm going more of a Q build with Muradin. But if you had the big slows in this case, for example, when the Falstad down there, instead of just jumping at him and having no slow whatsoever, you would have something. That was a extremely sharp mosh interrupt. Oh, bird dies. Yeah, chicken didn't have a chance. And Vala wisely dives in. So Vala's going to clean up here. Hello, Raka. So blue team, you capped the objective. I would love to see you employ the 014 that Not Paradox talked about in his video. Go ahead and review that. I did post it on Tuesday for the initial videos, but I would have liked to have seen that. I think that perhaps with a little bit slower play, you might have actually got more from the objective. Because trading Falstad for 2 or 3 deaths, not really a worthwhile trade for us. So Ulysses, your offlane programming is coming in. You're on this camp, but it really should be Meme Zed. Oh, you're gonna die. Hoo. Alright, so good news for you, Memes. You made it out thanks to the unstoppable portion of the leap. Really good discipline there of not using multiple ways to stop the mosh. Oh, Ulysses barely getting out. So blue team, a little bit down on experience, but I think you're doing a good job of being very careful when you're outnumbered, and it's allowing Meme to just get a little bit of chip damage, Now we do need to, blue team, catch up on experience, and red team, you want to prevent that, right? So red team right here, fly. Oh, you had started to fly. I was gonna say it's an opportunity for you to fly in and take an advantageous fight. We should have noticed by now, red team, that Sonya has left the party, and so it gives us a chance to either siege in or perhaps push in on the objective or just try to find a kill. Soul Nova, one thing I want for you as a tank is I want you to show less. I realize Alterac doesn't have nearly as many bushes as other maps, but you're just kind of large and in charge, and while that's not terrible, good, better, best. So yes, being in front of your team allows you to hopefully prevent damage that they would take, but hiding in a bush can oftentimes provide vision and flank defense. Oh, Vala dies. Big mosh. Unfortunately, with no Vala and Hogger not there, it's just difficult to capitalize on. Ooh, ETC, that was so close. You got to keep running. That tower is shut off. Papa gets out. So blue team with Ulysses playing Sylvanas. I'd like you to tower dive like that basically anytime you can. Where you're up talent tiers now from getting those kills, and you have the Sylvanas trade every 40 seconds. I just want you to go ham with it. So right now we've got another 10 seconds on it, and it gives us big team fight potential. Memes, you're dead. If you survive this, it's because they just didn't want to kill you enough. And you survived. Alright, so blue team here. Kalkin, you just had an unlucky bounce. Soul Nova, you're waiting on cooldowns. So we're going to look at this from the tank perspective. Auger gets in. Ah, we whiffed that. So Soul Nova, some real micro stuff that we can go through there for you to potentially fix that this next time. First off is just communicating between you and Kalkin. Kalkin had the boop, you power slide, you missed both, but then you used face melt, and your face melt actually provided, especially because of loudspeakers and amp or encore, those two things provided the ability for Sonya to survive. So right there, if we had held the power slide, she would have died. If we had held the loudspeakers, she would have died. And so it's a tough one, and in the moment, I get it, we all bloodlust a little bit. But one way that we can win fights in any game, but especially in Heroes being a very team-based game, is predicting the future by talking about it in advance. You know, in the world of fighting games, not that I am by any means a huge pro here, but oftentimes you are looking for a particular thing that your opponent's going to do because that triggers how you are then going to combo it. Alright, so no direct save, but the Maiev is just able to be going crazy, and Yoon runs down the Sylvanas again. So we trade bosses. The boss trade is probably a little bit more in favor of the blue team just since it's going on a keep. But the red team gets the objective, so but still, to get 75-80% of that keep is really good for blue team, and it puts them in a position where they'll be able to defend by going just top, middle, bottom, and they should not lose more than top fort. Well, I mean, they're going to lose chip damage, but they shouldn't lose an entire building. An entire major building. Sorry, I'm not clarifying stuff well enough. Alright, Soul Nova, I love the aggression. However, should you have landed that, it would have been difficult for anybody to follow up on it. unlucky there for Kalkin. So 3 for 1, a particularly good defense for the blue team. Do we not have black arrows? Yeah, we have black arrows. So Ulysses, this is going to seem really strange, but you kind of always want to black arrows the towers if both towers are up, because 2 towers do more damage to your wave than 1 keep. So right here, you can see the keep shooting for 440. We're going to back up for a second here. 330. So 660 between the 2 towers or 440 on the keep. And a lot of times, oops, I didn't actually mean to back up again there. But a lot of times you'll actually end up having it last long enough that you still get onto the keep for a bit, but that was a good route, Psycho Pants. It just was. Alright, Yoon, my friend, I don't know if you're going to watch this or not, but next time, if I tell you to play Bruiser because I'm putting a plat into a gold lobby, you need to make sure you're playing Bruiser, brother. Blue team, good choice to get the bottom keep. The math was in your favor that having another keep down is way more valuable for you than trying to go core, because you didn't have time to go core and the keep was already low. Now we're pinging that. I like it. Let's see, Papa, on Falstad for this map, particularly where you were offlaning, I don't know if you ever play Lightning Rod build, but if you're ever going against a melee offlaner, and at one point it was Falstad against Sonya, Lightning Rod build essentially just pushes them out of the lane over time. And so they either don't get to wave clear, because if they wave clear, you're building lightning rod stacks, or they get to wave clear and you get to zap down their health and get to the point where you're this late game powerhouse. But I don't think hammering build is bad by any means. The difficult thing here is so much of the game you have been solo one-on-one with somebody, rather than being able to get those big hammering stacks on several people. Alright, so we see Wind Tunnel, we see Hog Wild, we see Acrobat, we see Death Metal, and then Fairy Protector. I'm okay with all of those. I do, of course, think that Farflight Quiver is very good also. It's okay, Yoon. I was putting you as a plat into a gold lobby, so I just want you to be very aware of that. So, red team, the game is currently on a timer for you. This wave is about to have 3 of the Reavers, which is bad news. Oh. Alright, we're going to back up because I think that there is a lot more here than I really showcased. So red team, you created lots of chaos there, which I think worked really well. Oh, the Maya is going to tear you up though if you don't get out as a group. Soul Nova's looking for that fat death metal. Oh man. Alright, so blue team right here, I realize the objective looks great, but you have enough down over here and only Vala to defend that you just go core. Because right now, you absolutely can still fill you, and I want to be very clear on the expectation there. So right now, blue team, you're allowing the red team to respawn. I realize 15,000 health seems like a lot, plus with 20 armor, so now it's really more like 20,000 health, but we had enough time that they were dead that we could have been on the key, or on the core. Okay, so here we are. It's 13-7. It's 12. 100% if we had gotten in there, we could have gotten the last 13,000 in health plus the shield. Muradin could have been regenning in the bush. We could have danced around enough that I don't think Vala could have stopped the Sylve damage. Now, it's entirely possible that this objective is going to end the game anyway. Replays get bugged as soon as you hit the back button once, so I can't see how much time is left on this. Janitor of Blizzard, please help us. But see, we got these 3 Reavers here. We had some Reavers and some wave here. I think you'd have got it. So blue team here, this is actually the exact opposite. You want to pump the brakes. You have no reason to go ahead of our cavalry. In fact, you could have gone up here and see Falstad's doing the cheeky. Ooh, that was a really good containment disc. That was actually a really good Stormbolt too. Psycho Pants. They really should have just gone after it and killed you there. Soul Nova, at this point, you know you're going to die. Just get in there and try to save some people. Alright, so the blue team will win. I got to stretch his redemption. Alright, so congratulations, blue team. The good news, Yoon, is even though you were on your primary role, it was not something that created an imbalance. I just want you to be careful with that. Looking at everything here. So slam build with mercenary stuff. Okay. Ignore Pain's great. I also want you to consider Crater, particularly where it was such a big opportunity to engage for your team. I really like Censure with Piercing Light. I think Censure is good always, but it does pair well with Piercing Light. As a tank player, I hate going against Vengeful Knives, so that is a great pickup. Okay. Yeah, don't be afraid to take Farflight Quiver in any build. I realize Acrobat is great with the resets that you get here from Repeating Arrow. And having 50 stacks means we're doing almost an additional 300 damage on that first hit. And so it's definitely a big deal. So you did great with the Puncturing Arrow. Having more of them late game certainly doesn't hurt, but having essentially what feels like infinite range for Manticore can potentially win some fights also. I play this build quite a bit actually. I think Imposing Presence is stronger than people think. It is a little bit difficult against the team you win against just because they're not auto attackers. But yeah, Papa, I would say see how you like the lightning rod build if you know you're going to be soloing and not being able to get the big stacks. 90 is still a respectable number, but I'm certain you've had these games where you're 200 plus on this and it's just awesome, right? And so hammering instead means now you get to poke out the Sonya, you even get to make the Maev's life somewhat miserable, and you can stay relatively safe in team fights with it because you're building a shield here, and I realize this one's an instant shield, the other one's a slow shield. Um, but you're also very far away with it the whole time, and so that can work well. I really liked the wind tunnels. There was a couple angles that had we adjusted them slightly, and I realize we don't always get to pick that, but if we could have planned it a little bit farther ahead, we could have gotten the enemies just a little bit better, and that might have won the game. Red team, you had way more boss control potential. I would have loved to have seen you kind of force onto the bosses a bit more also. Um, but overall, I don't see anything that scares me. I don't see anything that you just absolutely cannot do. Um, and I think overall it was fairly even. I do think there was some opportunity in team fights to just focus a single target and blow them up sometimes. Now, I will 100% agree. This is the first time most of you have played together, so comms can feel very just awkward, if you will. And so it's not always easy to just be like, oh, kill Jaina. But if you do that and just you everyone starts chanting the same thing in a kill fight, and all of a sudden we kill him. And if there's someone that needs to say something different, it actually works out in our favor because we notice, because that person learns to get louder and be like, help, they're diving me, help, 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 help. And now everybody says, turn and help, 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 help. And so that can be very powerful in a comm setting. Let's see, I guess I didn't look at the stats. Plant Fox, you did great on the Maya. There was plenty of mean combos where you got the pulls there. Yoon, of course, Vala is just sickening damage, and you only died once. So good work there. You could have even got auto attack build if you wanted. But strong play on both sides. I think there's, again, little opportunities, and I hope you're all having fun here in Road to Nexomania. Nexomania Development League. We do sometimes run the Road to Nexomania, but not right now. We didn't have time to fit all 3 events. So, all right, let's see. Oh, actually, I think your Alterac pass got uploaded twice. All right, we'll download the Braxis. Braxis is not my favorite map. It's true. But we're going to try it. Alright, so this is still...
Facility powering up.
I can likely jump in and pull... Oh, no, I think they had all 3. Yeah, they do have all 3. It was just the first game was posted twice. Because I see it posted by Shay and Solnova.
Systems online. 10 seconds.
Alright. Oh, Junkrat. That's who I'm seeing.
4, 3, 2, 1. Access granted.
Good luck!
Alright. We have an oh, y'all are being tricksy on me. Alright, so our red team became the blue team, and the blue team became the red team. Because we like to play tricks on Old Man Valk. So, Papa with the Kerrigan. Oh, that when I saw that, I kind of initially thought it would be Plant Fox since they played the melee assassin last game. But Papa on the Kerrigan, Cody Sparks on Stukov, Garrosh by Solnova. I'm a big Garrosh fan. Yoon, you're on the Vala, and Kalkin on the Malthael going up against Hogger. So Kalkin should have the upper hand against Hogger. Plant Fox on the Greymane, Memezed on the Hogger, Ulysses on the Junkrat. Junkrat, also known as Trap Satan, is extremely strong here. I don't have the bands, so I don't know what might have gotten knocked out there. Shadra again on the Muradin, and Psychopants on the Brightwing. Alright. We see auto attack, we see toss, we see Fury of the Swarm, viciousness, prowl, extra wound timers, and dwarf block. So Shadra, here's a stupidly micromanagement thing that you can do on dwarf toss or dwarf block. When you're in the Hall of Storms, jump in the Hall of Storms, and you will get 4 stacks, and you'll get your mana back, and the stacks never expire. So you can do that every time that you are in the Hall of Storms. But the Alterac view is still out there. Alright. That was a really good combo. I promise it really does favor Malthael, but it was a really good combo. Good toss away, Soul Nova. So Soul Nova, if you're ever in an event and you get dismounted, you probably want to just get back mounted. Oh, we are in an ad break. So we're going to pause while we're in the ad break. And then when folks are back in 1 minute, we will let them come back. But for anybody who might be watching through the ads, this is Nexomania Development League. We played these games on Tuesday. I'm doing some reviews. This is my 4th map review. I know Andrew's done a map review. I know that Silver Spy has done one. I know that Gib is working on one, though his is primarily going to be text. He's writing that out. And I know Rock has talked about some. And then RavenX actually did some live review and coaching on Tuesday night with folks also. But we got another 15 seconds now on the ad break. Oh man, I didn't bring myself water. First world problems. All right, 5 seconds left on our ad break. All right, the community's back. Oh, that was big. So right now, so I've got to think that some of Kerrigan's combo is down there, but Soul Nova, I would love to just see you kind of being playful with the bushes, if you will. That's not supposed to be there. It's supposed to be in here. We got a graphical glitch on the field. So Soul Nova, you'll definitely build the ability to kill tanks as a team, but don't feel like you've got to only toss Muradin in. You can also toss him out. Now, for our blue team, hydration is critical. We have the clear advantage here bottom with numbers, knowing that Greymane's top. We need to get value, otherwise Greymane and Hogger are going to tear apart our top fort. And so that's one thing with drafting a little heavy on the melee for this map, is that now it makes some of the defenses more difficult, such as if the red team caps the objective. Yeah, Soul Nova's going down. That was just a numbers game. Makes it tough, but red team's now going to get big channel on this objective. Oh, Meme Zed, you might die. Yeah, you're dead.
Slain.
You didn't realize the mouth ale was back up. it's actually just an okay map in Heroes of the Storm. So red team, by virtue of you having the double ranged and one of them being Junkrat and Brightwing being able to teleport, I would love to see the Muradin and the Greymane kind of rotating for kills, and then the Brightwing teleport in sometimes when necessary. Because the Junkrat can set up traps and concussion mines down here and keep people off the wall decently well. Oh, Junkrat should die here. Oh, that stun saved you. Ulysses, you owe Shadra a smoothie. Or something. Memes had thought about coming down. I don't know that you get enough. Now I know for the last one I talked about how Dwarf Toss is really good for Muradin. I actually like Skullcracker better here because of the Kerrigan. It can kind of make it so that for both Kerrigan and Stukov, that micro stun might just be enough to ruin their day. Oh yeah, Greymane's dead. Sorry, Greymane. Oh, Memezed styling up here, getting another kill. So blue team, not that getting mana is bad, and if you absolutely need it, you absolutely need it. But we did just kill Greymane a moment ago, and we drove off everyone, and we killed Brightwing. We need to be way more aggressive. Yeah. Well, we need to protect the Vala and let her plunk away at the walls. Maybe the Kerrigan goes up north and sieges or works on this camp with her assimilation shields. Red team here, I would love for you to just force your way on the point. You got numbers and... Oh, the Kerrigan was dead, that's right. So we got lots of dying. It happens. Fighting is fun. It's one of the reasons they made a hero brawler, not a MOBA. See, this is a really good rotation there with the Brightwing, because by giving the Hogger a little bit of health, he's able to survive. Oh. So with Hogger Boops, Memezed, you kinda gotta think of like Rainer's knockback, and we only go for the knockback if it's gonna stun or kill. So we trade spots. So blue team, your goal here is mainly just to keep the red team honest. You want to try to get as much channel as possible. Kerrigan, I actually would have liked to have seen you stay top rather than try to come down for a kill, because we were just so close to having the objective done. But eventually we get that too. But the red team is getting more value I mean, the objective is going to change that, but
Slain.
Angel of Death is dead. Oh, you hate to see this though. Does Brightwing have their teleport? They do. So I would have liked to have seen Red Team communicate that because Brightwing has the teleport and finish the camp. So Psychopants, I imagine you're already doing this because I know you play quite a bit of healer, but with a major cooldown like Brightwing, I want you to just constantly be saying, hey, phase shift is up. And almost like asking for people like, hey, you need a phase shift? Just to try to, it's less about you being ready to phase shift and more about them communicating the need of phase shift, because that will help you react even if it's a half second sooner. We've all had that half second where phase shift lands too late. Oh, the Kerrigan combo, the Gurman diving in. This is just a brutal fight. Oh, Ulysses playing Trap Satan, blasting someone with a Riptire. Yeah, this is a tough group to Kerrigan into with the Muradin and the stuns and the Brightwing Poly and the traps that silence and chase. And now there's two of them. This is a tough Kerrigan, but you know, I'm gonna have to back up for a second because I don't actually remember who won the objective, and both objectives seem relatively healthy, and the red objective is getting keep wall. I know blue was at 80%.
Heroes.
Oh yeah, so red ended up getting a lot. Okay, so Papa, I mentioned before I would have liked to have seen you stay top. Now imagine with me if you had stayed top and they weren't able to recap, you would have had 80 to 20. And so, again, fighting's a lot of fun, fighting's cool, but sometimes not fighting is better, because if we were there to intimidate the top lane just by our mere presence alone, then we could have finished the channel and had 100 to 20, which is big. Alright, we can speed through this because we watched some of this. So it's pretty easy to say that the red team got the advantage. Soul Nova, so a couple things here build-wise. One, if you know the enemy team has a highly telegraphed heal, like phase shift, you may consider using the Inner Rage talent for the healing reduction. It is also the talent that I typically take against Malthael, because if I can taunt Malthael and if I can Inner Rage him to reduce, or body check, Inner Rage is the level 20, and body check him to reduce his healing, now my team can kill Malthael before he gets away. So that's one idea. The other idea is the opposing team has several melee or several short-ranged range, I guess. So Brightwing wants to be up with her teammates, and Greymane wants to be in melee form or Worgen form as often as possible. So there is a case to be made for Decimate also. I believe it's Lion Lad has some write-ups that they've put on Reddit where they talk about the idea of, you know, for taunt is when we want fast fights. Warlord's Challenge, I should say, is when we want fast fights, and Decimate is when we want slow fights. Brightwing really is good with either because of everything she's got between phase shift and also having polymorph, so she can go fast fights or slow fights. Garrosh can go fast fights or slow fights. I would say that Junkrat is probably more slow fights, and Greymane again can go with both. Hogger I would say is also generally more slow fights, but Hogger's, I'm mixing teams here. So it may be that having the fast fights on Garrosh because of the slow fight nature of the red team is worthwhile. Oh yeah, the Malthael got jumped on there. This is bad news for our our blue team. Yeah, Shadra, just dwarf toss over the wall and get the point. Where you see all three of them down here, you want as much channel time as possible. Yeah, this is pretty quick and easy keep. The objective is going to go bottom lane. We're up 16s and we're rightly being aggressive. That's good. So stone form is another reason for Garrosh to take body check because it reduces that. So red team here, you're up talents. I like hanging out in the bush somewhat. I like waiting for your Zerg wave. This should be keep and possibly even core. If you get a single kill, it should be you end the game. Oh, I'm guessing Soul Nova, that was a miss hit on your ult, which is unfortunate. So this really should be game. I'm not sure that blue team has the ability to stop it, and Garrosh should die. That was a good attempt on the silence from Cody Sparks. So yeah, red team. You want to do here what I refer to as the flying V. Yes, I stole that from Mighty Ducks. No, it's not wholly accurate. But you want to have kind of your bruiser here. You want to have your tank and your melee assassin up here. Or melee assassin. You want to have your tank up here. You don't have a melee assassin. And then you just want to be able to keep people off of the Zerg wave here in the center and off of your ranged assassins. And by doing that, you create dangerous zones for the enemy team and safe zones for your team. So the red team won, which was the blue team last game, so they won 2 in a row. I am realizing how tired I am, and so unfortunately I will not be able to get to a third replay tonight. I do hope to get these saved and split up in the editing. I have basically no editing skills. But I hope to get them split up a little bit and get things going. But lots of fun. Looking forward to more games this coming Tuesday. If you do have questions, feel free to hit me up in the Discord. Feel free to message me on Twitch or comment on the YouTube videos when I get there. But exciting times all around. I'm glad to see the games that we've got and hang out because I'm going to figure out who might be out there in Heroes of the Storm world that we can raid. Let's see. Well, hey, I found me. That's not super helpful. All right, we have someone who has the tag worst player in history. So we're going to raid them and hopefully bump up their numbers and just give them add a person and hope they enjoy their night. But thanks everybody for being here. Again, feel free to drop me questions in the Discord. I will add stuff to make it so that you can find the Discord easier, but we are the Can't Counterpick Stupid Discord. There's definitely links on Reddit. I assume our Twitter has that as well. But have a wonderful night, and I hope you had fun being here for our replay review of Nexomania Development League. Thanks, everybody.